Number one, how do you introduce yourself? I know that sounds weird at the beginning of the offer, but imagine this being a video. It doesn't have to be. It can be a social media post or anything like that. Or you could be talking to somebody. And it could be a stranger. Mm-hmm. But I would say something like, hello, I'm Patrick Mosher. I'm a teacher and a coach. Mm-hmm. I like how Keziah just said it. Hello, I'm Keziah, and I'm not a coach. I'm a business advisor, right? You know, it's like, okay, so who you are, number one. Number two, and I've heard this done two ways. What are the problems that your core, your customer segment is trying to solve? What I like better than problems are what are they moving from? It's kind of the as is, you know, so it's the as is, like they're sitting in what, and what problems are they trying to solve, or they're trying to move from this thing. Mm-hmm. Now, I've said this a gazillion times. My view of this, be really careful with this piece, because this is pain. This is what begins pain and fear marketing.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what there's a nuance to this. I won't spend a lot of time on this, but it's don't start by saying, are you feeling overwhelmed? My view of that is like, well, I wasn't a second ago, but now that you mention it, I am. It's like, oh, don't do that. Right. You know, so moving from, it's like, and I like the word challenges. I like the word barriers. It's like, you know, let's get over the challenge of being overwhelmed with so much stuff going on. You know, so in your, you know, there's so many priorities that you have right now. And you know, even that sounds a little fear and pain, but it's like, stay away from like jacking up the pain or fear and then saying, I've got the red pill to fix it.
Yeah.
Okay. But that's the problems and the moving from. The second piece, or the third piece here, are what are the possibilities? So it's problems and possibilities, and then it's moving from and moving to. So I love this piece more. It's like, this is the ambition. This is like, what would you do if you had more time? You know, because that's got to be Keziah's like one of the major things. Like, do you want more time? And they're like, oh, hell yes. It's like, okay. So already they're going like, sign me up. I don't even know what you got, but I like the ambition part of this. So each of you have what that looks like. Amber, I can imagine with Executive Hippie Life, do you want to be more you when you show up to work? I mean, like the authentic you is like, yeah, that to me feels better than going like, do you feel constrained at work? I wasn't before, but now I am, you know, so there's that. Okay. So that's number 3. Number 4 is what Brendan Burchard calls expert story positioning. It's your expertise. It's your story of expertise. And tonight I'm teaching a story crafting workshop, and I think there's a whole bunch of stuff around what is your story, or what are your stories? I would encourage you each to have like 5 stories that you could inject at this place. And because I mentioned testimonials, that's a great place in some ways to think about, like, man, I helped this person, or this is what went on here, or whatever. But what's the story that somebody goes like, oh, I need support from this person. Mm-hmm. Cool. So that's expert story positioning. What's your story? And you know, if you're at a cocktail party, that story isn't 17 minutes long. That story is like 38 seconds long.